All right. Hey, everyone. Hope you're doing great. Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. I got a question, a comment actually from JD. He says, here's a question I've got and has never really been fully answered. And so also some of my seasoned vets, or even if you're a newbie, don't hesitate to comment on this video. We work as a community. We have a great community. I really appreciate you guys being here and helping out. But these are the things right here I really, really, really love. You know what I mean? Somebody just starting out, the questions. So definitely hit me up on the email, the daveadubson at gmail.com. I typically put it in the description below. And also some of you guys got my phone number. You can always text me. So let's get into this here. So he says, never been answered. He says, I'm going to turn 16 soon, and I'm going to be repairing doors and installing openers. He says, my question is, what is the best to charge and what tools are really handy? I think this is the really good part right here. Tools that are really handy. And how should I arrange my regular pickup truck to be most effective? That's a good question. I really have no clue if I need to insure it or not, or how I should get openers. Excuse me. If I should buy them from Home Depot or try to get a LiftMaster supply. If you got any pointers or what you think the upcharge should be starting out for openers, installations and stuff, I would really appreciate it. Having that, he says I will be running it solo at first. So let's get into it. To make it not real long-winded, I got a list. So JD, hit me up an email, shoot me a text, to 231-720-9675. You can shoot me up that way. I can try to help you out on the tools. The tools, I try to think about the one-off stuff that I can't get right from the Home Depot store, some oddball stuff. So I'd love to hear your guys' comments on here because I'm just brushing the surface here. Some of the things that come to mind, obviously, winding bars, a little assortment of that. Probably like this right here in this picture, this trim nailer. That works really good for putting up weather seal. A come along. I like the ones that have the strap and not the cable, so it doesn't poke your finger. Just a light duty one, especially if you're doing residential. And one of those grapplers that catches the cable. You can find this stuff. I would highly recommend either you scour through Service Spring. If you can't get an account with Service Spring, find ways to buy the stuff off the market. If it's something where you get into a real pinch and you say, I cannot find this is what I want, I have a part number, whatever, I'll hook you up. I'll help you out. And, but like the grappler, it grabs on the cable. Cause if you get into a situation where the door's crooked and you're in a little bit of a pinch, just these one-off things, just the basic hand tools, some wrenches, some hammers, pry bars. I got a list, like I said, I can send you if you want it. Hit me up at the email and the description below, and we'll go over it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The springs can be very complex sometimes, so you got to have the ruler for it. Service Spring has a good a picture and stuff of it, and normally I like their little clips that go in there too. I've talked about it in other videos, but you gotta be able to measure those springs really good. You gotta have a tape measure. So make sure you're getting those little hand tools that are kind of the one-off, you know what I mean? So we'll touch on the vehicle a little bit here. And remember, I'm not an attorney. I'm not your advisor. So I'll take all this stuff with a grain of salt because I'm going to get into some stuff. And I'll tell you some of the things I think. And like I said, I'm just some guy on YouTube. I've worked on a lot of vehicles, a lot of service vehicles, cars, pickup trucks, enclosed trailers, vans, cutaway vans. Eventually, as you grow, and you got a pickup, and that's fine. The pickup will work. It'll do the job. You'll just start learning. Don't get too crazy in how you set it up. The big thing is you got to keep the stuff out of the weather, right? So more than likely, I would probably say some kind of topper is going to be nice in a pull-out drawer. They're expensive. If you can't do that, I run around right now, and I use Milwaukee, the cases. The problem is they kind of stand out. So what you run into is if you try to go to a store because you forgot something, a Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, you run into the problem of theft. That's the problem. So if you got a topper on it, at least the topper, you can lock it. It's kind of blocked. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. it just kind of keeps the honest person honest. The vans work great. You know what I mean? You can get up there. I don't know what kind of climate you're dealing with. If you got snow, if you got rain, if it's just desert. So just some things to kind of think about on that end. I wanted to touch base on this a little bit about the insurance. Everybody's got to do what they got to do, and everybody's got an opinion just like a hiney. And the thing is, when you're starting out, you're going to run into, it's almost like you need to watch The Matrix, and you're kind of a battery cell. So everybody wants to suck off you in a sense, right? They want your money. They want this. So you can go and spend all this money and kind of screw yourself, right? A lot of times when it comes to business, especially if you use common sense, be smart about things, right? Don't have cars in the garage if you can avoid it, right? Have them get the car out. Be really cautious when you're working around vehicles. If your vehicle leaks, park it on the road. Make sure you put cardboard under it, clean cardboard. A little story I wanted to tell you. My business partner, when we first started out, and this is just something to kind of make you think a little bit. We were using personal trucks before we actually got these Ford Rangers. And the Ford Rangers worked really good, actually. They held up good. One had 250, one had about 300,000. No engine, no big transmission problems. They ran good. Unfortunately, I don't know about the new ones. Anywho, he was driving up to his house, right? And he ended up was going to turn into his house on a main. He lived on a main road. He ended up getting clipped in the back. Police officer shows up, asked him, what was the situation. He seen that he had stickers on his truck that said the business name. He asked him what was he doing, and he says, I just got done with work. He says, I'm heading home. And he was, because we would work out of my place. And come to find out, the insurance covered it. But if he would have told him that he was going up to a job site, insurance wouldn't have covered it. So you just take that with a grain of salt. Maybe you want to run a vehicle that's not marked. Maybe you got magnet stickers. These are just things you have to think about. When you're a young lady or a young man, these are things that people just don't teach you about. And I wish they did, because there's stuff to kind of save you in a sense, because a lot of the stuff is just, they want your money. You'll go bankrupt before you even make any money if you do everything 100% by the book. Not to say you shouldn't. Like I said, I'm not your advisor. So I don't want to see you in court. So don't sue me, bro. Came across this picture. I wanted to just throw it in there. You can see this truck, right? This is a Ford Ranger. Don't worry so much about how your truck's set up. I think the biggest thing that I learned that I wish I would have done sooner is make sure you bring get yourself a nice folder, either a pad that's got, mine's the one I carry it's brown. It's got padding on both sides. It's very rigid. I paid a little bit extra money for it. Get yourself something that you can put notes in and carry that thing around like the Bible. And every time you run into a problem, maybe right not in the moment, but close to it, take a moment to walk over to the vehicle or over to the hood of your truck or whatever and write that thing down. I cannot tell you how important it is in life in general, with goals and dreams and vision. You got to write this stuff down. If you don't write it down, it will never happen. So write it down, what you forgot, put little comments in there if you got to. Just say, hey, I just went to that one Menards job I was doing. For instance, it was super hot. So if it's super hot, we're going to bring a box fan next time because they got power. I'm not paying an electric bill, but we needed some wind. As I've gotten older, I like a little breeze on me. So what I'm just saying, though, is you'll learn over time as you play with the truck. Don't worry so much about getting the truck just perfect. Get your stuff in there, make it look halfway decent, get it semi-organized, your nuts and bolts and screws and all that, and just go out there. That's the biggest thing, because you're going to be fighting so many other people and so many other things that you need to do the listings, Facebook Marketplace. You got to meet the customers. You got all these things. Get the jobs. Worry about the rest later. Get the work. You know what I mean? Don't worry about making things perfect. And maybe because of this, try to build some confidence, watch some videos, stay tuned to me, subscribe, email me, text me. We'll help you walk through this. Like I said, we got a great community here of guys and women that would love to help you. I just wanted to throw this in here, that picture, because this was a different truck that I worked out of. So this one actually had an insert, very expensive. Don't really recommend it. Like I said, this truck would suck out so much stuff you put in the back, cardboard. You literally had to have an army net and throw over everything because it was a vortex back there. I've lost probably 2 ladders, step ladders out of the back of that thing. Everything flew out of it. Anywho, onto the openers and probably garage doors. I have personally done a 360. Like I said, I've been doing this for a little over 18 years now. And I'm here to tell you that things are not getting better. I would love to say they are. I would love to say the technology and the openers and that, but they keep using us as guinea pigs. And I look at it now, and all the years I've done it, I honestly can never say that I've maybe 1% of customers have ever came to me and said something about they're happy to use that product, probably because they had it, right? And if that was a scenario, I'd probably special order it for them. But typically, most, and I mean most customers go on pricing. And the other thing you got to remember about openers is the technology is changing. You turn into a guinea pig, and I want you to put as much money in your pocket as you can, because when you're out there and you're fighting this battle alone, it's super tough, and you're not going to have all the support. You're not going to have the vendors, and you can spend so much time with vendors going and picking up product, all these things that are time wasters. So if you have a local company close to you, a Home Depot, a Menards, a Lowe's, a big box store, I would highly recommend just using them. I have even talked to Cap in Affordable Door Gate about possibly just using them. I know it seems silly, but the problem is that we get openers that come back. They're basically $200 a pop. Our vendors don't take them back unless they have an RGA and a whole bunch of paperwork that, as far as I know, the secretaries do not want to deal with. And it'd be so much easier to take it back to the store. It's gone. Grab a new one. Move on. Probably use like a Chamberlain product. But people typically don't care. They're going to ask you, does it go up and down? That's what they want. And whatever gives you the least amount of callbacks. Yes, sometimes the box stores and all that stuff takes a little bit more time to put back together. But you got to think about the back end of it. The back end is that, well, you don't have to have a secretary. Well, you don't have to have a person at the shop doing warranty calls on these things or making the phone calls, because there's going to be a point when you get that vortex spinning that you just can't do it. You're out there. I got to install. I got to be in the field. I'm super tired. Oh man, it's 8:00 at night. I can't call them now. They're closed. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow somebody else calls and you got to run and chase that money. So the box stores, though, guess what? They're open from 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, right? Till 9, 10 o'clock at night. So you got a lot of tech support there. You can take it back. Hey, there's a problem. You can also work it with the customer pays for it. There's just so many more options, I think, especially nowadays right now with a lot of stuff turning. Like I said, we don't have a tried and true opener that's been around for 20 some years. That's just been a bulletproof opener. No, it's like these car vehicles and everything else. They keep changing this stuff. I think they just do it to stimulate the economy, honestly. I think it's a shame. I think it's horrible for the entrepreneurs, the self-employed people to have good products and stuff. So with that, I hope that kind of helps you out. If you have any more questions, shoot me an email. Let me know in the comments. And also, you guys put in the comments on the tools, the openers. Like I said, I don't think it's bad to eventually grow into it, and you can have stuff dropped off and delivered to you and all that. Everybody has different levels to the business, and so it just depends. But if you're starting out, man, I can't tell you. I would highly go to the box stores. They got the best, cheapest price. I cannot, all the years, they always are the cheapest priced. Yes, some of their products, but you can tweak that stuff a little bit. If you buy an Ideal door from Menards, it's really a Clopay door, right? Well, you go try to get signed up with Clopay and all the time and the paperwork and the insurance, and they want proof of this and proof of that and proof of this. So don't worry about that. I want you to make some money. I want you to grow. I want you to be successful. So I'll leave you with that, you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a great dang day.